There is North Korea. North Korea's Ministry of State Security claiming today that the CIA and South Korea's intel agency tried to ideologically corrupt and bribe a North Korean citizen working in the timber industry in Russia to return to his home country and assassinate Kim Jong-un with a biochemical weapon. Did you get it all? Fox News military analyst General Jack Keane joins us now. So, General, first of all, a pretty obvious caveat. This information is coming from a guy who poisons his own siblings, okay? So this is really the pot calling the kettle black. Is there any plausibility to this theory about the plan to assassinate him?
Well, I totally agree with you. I mean, this guy is prone to some absolutely huge exaggerations, and they keep coming all the time. Given all the spotlight on him, I'm not surprised that this is just another one of these false stories. But seriously, though, I'm sure the Chinese, David, have taken a hard look at the possibility of removing Kim Jong-un because of his absolute recklessness and unpredictability. But because it's such a closed society, you know, they'd have to have somebody standing in who they had confidence in would be able to take over the reins and would not be as reckless. That's not easy to do, even though they talk to those ministers on a regular basis that work for Kim Jong-un, and they travel to China also. But nonetheless, whether the South Koreans could do something like this, I doubt that they're involved in this kind of activity. Now,
on a much more serious side, there is more evidence now that North Korea and Iran are working together, sharing technology, training weapon systems. I understand they both use the same kind of midget submarines from which you can launch missiles. That must disturb you somewhat, no?
Yeah, these two are very close together. They've been close together for over 20 years. Iran actually is using the North Korean playbook and how to develop a nuclear weapon, lie, deceive, tell a false story that you're not doing it, conduct negotiations, and then all of a sudden North Korea had a nuclear weapon. That's the path that Iranians on, except we found their secret sites. We never found the North Korean secret sites. But yes, Iran is using North Korean technology for nuclear weapons development. They're using North Korea's technology and engineering for missile development. Their missile inventory is an exact replica. They have different names for it, but it's the exact replica of the North Koreans. They literally are in bed together here.
Now, the thing that scares me most, I think a lot of people out there, is the idea of a terrorist getting hold of a nuclear weapon. I live in Manhattan. There are a lot of cities in the United States that could be at the very least blackmailed by a terrorist with a nuclear weapon, if not exploded. But you think there's something called an EMP, which is electromagnetic pulse attack. Describe what that is and why that is of particular concern to you.
Well, it's a weapon that could be in an adversary's arsenal. What they do is they put up a satellite with a miniaturized nuclear explosive device in it, fly the satellite over the United States, fly and explode it at altitude, a very high altitude, but the electromagnetic pulse that would come from that would actually fry anything that's electric. If you had a cell phone, it would go down. If you had a computer, your automobile, all of those go down. You couldn't work an ATM machine. All the power, the entire utility grid would be out.
Wow. Needless to say, all the hospitals would be out of commission. Thousands, if not millions, of people would die. Now, I got to emphasize, it sounds like science fiction. You're a former four-star general. You know that this is really within the realm of truth. It's not just fiction, right?
Well, we have the capability to do that ourselves if we wanted to, but obviously we would not. So obviously, this is technologically very capable to do. We put up satellites. We got miniaturized nuclear weapons on the tips of our intercontinental ballistic missiles. So this is a technology that North Korea is heading towards. This is something they do not have. And this is why this administration is doing the right thing to stop the ballistic missile development and denuclearize this country and get China to help do it.
Scary stuff. General Jack Keane, thank you very much.